for another NAL Live. This is actually episode 9 already, just over a month. And it took me a little while, but man, I had to kind of build up so that I was prepared. I was nervous. I'm going to talk to the champ. And haven't seen the photo. He's got the trophy to prove it. So I wanted to make sure I was at the top of my game before I brought him on. But I got Coach James Fuller with me, head coach of the Jacksonville Sharks. How's it going, Coach?
All right, Andrew. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. I appreciate you joining me.
Thanks for having me.
It's fun to hear the stories of the journeys that all the coaches have gone through from playing to coaching. And a lot of people don't realize, the grind, the determination, the ups and downs. So this kind of gives us a good opportunity to share that with fans. And, with fans out there, if you're out there, definitely comment, let us know where you're watching from. I know the last few shows we've had people all over the world watch. So post where you're watching, let us know that you're here. And then make sure you post some questions for Coach. We'll get to them. But, with the Sharks, man, there's a big bullseye, it looks, from the talks of everybody. They're like, hey, we're gunning for the Sharks. They're trying to knock you guys off that top pedestal. So should be fun.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an interesting year for sure.
So, Coach, walk us through kind of like, how you got into it. Like, where did you grow up, and kind of, were you an athlete growing up? And kind of just walk us through your career.
Well, I'm an Army brat, so and I have a big family. So, I grew up traveling a lot, man. I got 5 older brothers, an older sister, and a younger sister. So, we traveled a lot. As kids, we had to kind of keep ourselves busy because, my father was in the Army and my mom was busy trying to take care of all of us. So, we kind of had to, do things our own way, as kids growing up. So we learned what to do and what not to do wherever we were, Kansas, Louisiana, Seattle, Tacoma, Washington, Germany, Korea.
Wow.
And then settling back down in Tacoma, Washington, where I went to junior high and high school.
How tough was that, though, just kind of bouncing around like that?
I look back on it now, and it wasn't as tough for the kids. I had guys to play with, my brothers. We were always on base, so there were always kids to play with. So, for us, it was just like a vacation, I guess, moving to the next state. You do miss your friends and all that, but when I look back on the whole thing, I don't feel, traumatized by it or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be cool too, just to see the different areas too. A lot of people don't. It kind of shocked me talking to people. Some people never leave the hometown they're from.
Oh, I know
that would be crazy for me, man. I love exploring new areas. So
me too. I'm like that too, and knowing that it gives you a different perspective on life. You get to see how other people live, what they eat, how they do things. And so, growing up, it just when you can reach back to some of that stuff and I remember this, I remember that. I think it kind of gives you a little different different look on life.
Did it make things difficult for you to like participate in sports because of that? Being in the Army family?
No, because the Army and the military itself had their own teams. Okay. So you were always able to play sports. Now the tough part was when traveling in between sports or something like that. But I was fortunate enough that I didn't have to go through that because my older brothers did. When I got back to Washington State, I was in junior high. Pop Warner was just rolling and all that, so I got to participate in all that.
So at what point did you kind of find football to be your thing?
Probably my junior year in high school. I was a 3-sport athlete. I wrestle, I run track, and I played football all my life. Ever since I was a little tyke. So, when you start getting them letters from every college and around the world, that you never go to, probably won't even accept you. But it was then, when you start thinking, oh, some people are kind of checking me out,
Right.
So I got a letter from a junior college, Walla Walla, Washington. Okay. And Coach Kaiser, great guy, still friends to this day. He comes to my high school and he says, hey, you're pretty good. You want to go to college? And I'm like, man, what college? I didn't know much about all that, just to be honest about it. Our school wasn't that big and promoting players and promoting us to go to school. And we didn't have all the money for counselors and all this kind of stuff to kind of help you, navigate through your grades and things like that. So I had to go to JUCO. And I'll still, to this day, we laugh about this, me and Coach Kais, is that he came to my high school, Stadium High School in Tacoma, Washington, and we're watching me play on reel to reel. I still remember that sound, click, 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 rewinding, click, 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 click. And he gave me a scholarship to Walla Walla, and I drug along about 4 of my buddies, and we had a great time. And I was fortunate enough to move on from there.
What was your position?
Started off as a corner, but I was a little guy, man. When I was in, I wrestled my sophomore year. I wrestled 119.
Wow.
And then I gained 20 pounds every year. The next year, wrestled 141. The next year I wrestled 168. So I just kept gaining weight until I got into junior college, where we didn't have a real meal program. Now let's get this straight. Our meal program was, go down the street, find your own groceries. Yeah, exactly. Top ramen, pancakes, and fried chicken. That's 3 things I knew how to do. So, I gained so much weight. And then as I got to my 4-year college at Portland State, where Tom Mason, Pokey Allen got me there, I started to gain a little bit more weight, started learning how to lift weights and taking care of your body, training a little bit more than just being an athlete and going out there and lacing them up and playing, like we all used to.
Just raw.
Right, just raw, And then I started gaining weight, ended up at about 215, and then it kept going. And I was like, wait a minute, I got to slow this thing down. So then I moved to safety then.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, you're almost getting a linebacker status here.
You remember, I don't even know if they still do. I'm sure they do. But, when I got drafted to the Chargers, man, we had weight limits, so you get fined $50 a pound a day.
Damn.
For being overweight, So I come in at 218. I'm supposed to be at 215. That $150 a day for a kid like me is huge. I can't lose that. So you learn how to train, you learn how to lose weight, and you learn how to do it the right way.
So when you got out of towards the tail end of your college career, was playing professionally on your mind at that point?
It was, but it wasn't a situation to where I wouldn't have been shocked if I didn't. I was a little more realistic than some guys, draft day, I'm asleep. When I get the call, I am asleep, So, when Bobby Beathard called me, this is honest to God true, and he's like, hey, can we fly you out today? I'm like, I just woke up.
I'm busy right now, man.
Afternoon. I knew it was a long shot, especially coming from a Division II school. But at the same time, I try to work hard. I'm a warrior, I try to do, I want to prove that I belong there. And I was fortunate enough to, be able to do that.
So you got drafted by San Diego?
San Diego Chargers, 8th round of 12 in 92. Yes.
Okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then how was your, pro, career?
Man, it was tough. It really is, when you come from especially, well, for me, because coming from a Division II school, I mean, you're already trying to prove yourself.
Right.
And you already think you're kind of a tough, bad dude because you balled out and, you know what I mean? You're the best guy on your team and all that. And then you show up in training camp and you're like, whoa,
they're all the
I'm
best
not
guy
even,
from their team.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm last on the totem pole, so, it's tough emotionally, but it also, it was also an experience that I would never give up, for anything. I mean, get to meet people, get to challenge yourself, get to go against the best in the world. So it's an experience that, you just can't put anything on it. There's just nothing that describes it, so, but it's a tough go now, no doubt.
How long were you, playing after college?
Played in San Diego for 2.5 seasons, well, 2 and a beginning of the season. Played in New Orleans, 95, and then got hurt. Went over to NFL Europe, played in Scotland, to all my Scottish folks over there. Won the championship there, and then went back to the Saints, and then got traded to, I think, to the Eagles 96, 97. So I ended up with 4.
Eagles. Oh man, that was my hometown team. But I grew up a Cowboy fan, so it was like I got bullied, because
Wow.
Cowboys and Eagles just hate each other.
I can't believe you're saying that. You might not be able to go back to Philly.
No. I try not to anyway. Unless I want like a cheesesteak or something. So
I know, that's right.
So did you start thinking about like, hey, life after playing, like I want to be a coach, or, were you thinking about, a career in whatever you were going to school for?
I was actually thinking about coaching, but really didn't know how to go about it. I talked to, actually I played with Stan Brock, and it was just fortunate that when I got back to the West Coast, Stan Brock got the Portland arena job. So he calls me up. He's like, hey, do you want to coach? And, we had Robert Lyles from the Houston Oilers, Atlanta Falcons. He was on our staff, Bob Cortez. And so I said, yeah, I'd love to try it at least, see if I'm good at it. And then I started in 99 and, just kind of went from there.
How did you like the arena game? Was that kind of like your first taste of it, or were you following it before?
I actually followed it the year before, because Portland had a team before I got on the staff.
Okay.
So I followed it the year before, but, just kind of, it was on late night. I'd watch it, laying in bed, kind of, just kind of see what it was about. And it was exciting, it was faster than I would play. I'm a box safety, I come down to make tackles. I don't, cover high motion and all that kind of stuff, Right. So it was interesting to see the different ways they, challenged each other and the different coverages they played and all that kind of stuff. So, I got intrigued, and the more I looked at it, the more I started writing stuff on paper, the more I started trying to figure out ways to, design defenses. And then when I get there, my first secondary, when I was first secondary coach at Portland, I was told I couldn't do half the stuff I wrote down, so,
that's against the rules, coach.
Right. You can't do that zone blitz, and things like that. So, that just kind of made me want to get better and want to learn more. And then from there, it just kind of took off,
So when did you get your first head coaching opportunity?
I got my first head coaching opportunity in 2000. Oh gosh, 2000. I want to say 2001 season in Bakersfield for the Bakersfield Blitz. It was an offshoot of the LA Avengers, Casey Wasserman and that whole crew. And that was back then when AF2 was really strong,
Oh, yeah.
A lot of good AF2 teams across the board. You know, you had teams in Virginia. Green Bay was playing well. You know, you had teams just off Peoria Pirates. You know, you just had Fort Myers. Yes,
Cape Fear.
Sting. You know, you had teams that were just really good. You know, and coached by some good guys. So, you know, it was good to be a part of that league, and you know, being there as a head coach and learning in that division, I think was best for me. You know, you learn a lot what not to do, you know, so, yeah. So, you know, that's just kind of how it all started from there. But I loved the opportunity, you know, and I took it and tried to make something of it.
Like, what was it about arena football that kind of, you know, got you hooked, like loving the game?
One thing was trying to shut people down. You know, that was a big thing, you know. Me and I don't know, Robert Lyles, when we were in Portland, he used to always say, "Coach, we're gonna shut them cats down. They never seen football like this," you know, and that was just kind of like our thing, you know. Let's figure out ways to drop the scores, you know. Let's figure out ways to make it difficult on the team, and then that kind of just pushed everything from there, you know, figuring out different things you could do, you know, personnel wise. Just, you know, you immerse yourself in it after that.
So after you left Bakersfield, what was your next stop?
My next stop was Oklahoma City. Well,
Yard Dogs?
No, was I? Geez, it's so long ago. I went from Portland I went to Portland, and then I went to Oklahoma City.
Okay.
That was my second AFL team, and they were Oklahoma City Wranglers.
Oh, Wranglers. Okay.
Yeah.
Was the Yard Dogs after? Wasn't the Yard Dogs there? Was that after?
After.
Okay.
Way after. Yeah. Way after. So, when I left Portland, we split up as a staff. Two of them went down to the Avengers, Brock and Lyles, and myself and our old coordinator, Bob Cortez, went to the Oklahoma City Wranglers. So we took the Portland team there, and then from there, I went to Bakersfield.
I mean, you got a lot of fans chiming in here too, man. So
I just see my boy Zach Brown chime in, my boy Johnny Bain, Antoine Williams.
Yep.
These are all cats I have mad respect for. Herb Jones, just go get him, Herb. Yep. No, these are all guys who played for me and who, man, I got mad love for. Coach Yarborough, I seen Josh on this. All good guys, man.
Yeah. So, you know, you were at OKC. Were you the D coordinator there or what?
DC. Okay. DC, yes, sir. Yep, DC there for 2 years. And still to this day, I'm going to tell you, AFL, you robbed us out of a playoff berth. I'm just going to say that right now.
What happened? Was it officiating or what?
No, we had the one up on Orlando. I think Jay Gruden was the coach then. We had the one up on Orlando, and we get a fax saying somehow we didn't make the playoffs, but we had the one up on them. A fax.
Wow.
Couldn't even call a brother. Man. Yeah. So I'm going to say that. I had to get that off my chest because that's still bugs.
I don't know. What are they going to do now?
Well, they ain't going to do much.
Damn it. I want that ring. I want that ring. We're going to go back and let's do a redo.
Right.
No, that's the tough part of it. So,
yeah, but Oklahoma City was a good place, good fans.
The booming market too. I don't know how it was then, but man, it's really exploded over the last 20 years.
Well, I think we caught the beginning of, we caught the beginning with Bricktown and all that. And, the Myriad, they just had the year after that, I think, or 2 years later, they just built the new arena they have now.
Right.
But the fans were great. The city was great. We had a really good team. And, again, it was a situation where I don't have a lot of complaints about teams. And this is one where I definitely have no issues with. We had a good staff and a lot of good people working for us.
And says sometimes you just got to set the stats straight. So get those stats straight. They got your back, man. They got your back.
Preach.
So how are you as a coach out there on the field, man? Are you one of those you like real aggressive and yell? You like to yell? You jumping up and down?
Well,
you throw your hat?
No, I don't wear hats during the game.
Okay.
You know, I show the ball head and just sweat. I try to be fair. I try to not to yell too much. My players will probably disagree with me.
Players, if you're on here, chime in, man. I need to know the inside.
But I'm honest with them, you know, and that's one thing, you know, it's one thing I try to be is be honest to them, give it to them 100%, give it to them raw, let them know, you know, this is the way it's going to be. And, you know, some guys can take it, some guys can't. I try to coach how I want to be coached, how I wanted to be coached. You know, I want it right to your face. You know, I want to be, you know, I want to be honest with you, but at the same time, if you mess up, you're going to hear it.
What's that face? What's that face he's talking about, man?
I know what he's talking about.
That's going to be a meme. I'm going to have a photographer catch it this season.
But, you know, I try to be more informational. Right. You know, than just to yell. You know, I don't believe in just yelling to yell, but I do believe in
these guys
being straight.
I can't wait to see this, man. I'm coming to a game. I'm going to see this stare, this look. You don't got to say anything. That's good. No.
It's funny because Herb, Antoine, Johnny Bain were all with me in Richmond, and me and Johnny have been together for about 5 years now, but we went through some growing pains, let's just say that, in Virginia, and we had some ups and downs, and there was some staring at each other, there was some cussing at each other, but you know, there's nothing but love now.
Yeah, so Richmond, I was in Richmond just prior to you. I was the league president when the Bandits were there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So a couple of years back. So I was at the Richmond's. Did you play at the Civic Center too?
Yeah,
or Coliseum.
Yeah.
And
Coliseum.
Did you do the outdoor too?
No.
Okay, because I know Richmond played like outdoors at one season or something.
It was,
that
was a year. Don't get us confused with, you know, we were the real team there.
Okay.
You know, my Richmond Raiders, I'm not even going to mention them on here.
Okay.
Because there's only one team that I coached for there, and it's the Richmond Raiders.
I'll tell you
None of the other teams matter.
They have
except for Richmond Speed.
Yeah.
Big up to Criswell.
Yeah, he was with the Bandits there for that at least 1 year. I don't know about the second year, but there was some good talent on that Speed team.
Boy, was
it. They had some studs.
They were ahead of the game there, you know. They had all them boys from the Virginia area, Virginia Beach area. You know, they had some real good ball players there. We still, to this day, me and Criswell, that's a really good friend of mine. We talk about it all the time.
Is he still up in Richmond?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Talked to him today. Yep.
Nice. I saw his name pop up on Facebook recently, probably on like the NAL page or something. It might have been to like the post. So that's cool to see. But I mean, that's the cool thing about like this business is like, you know, just think of all the cities that you've worked in and then all the people around the league. And, you know, it's like some of the guys you don't really care for, but a lot of them, it's like that camaraderie though. And even the ones that you don't like, you just want to beat them anyway. So talk a little trash.
Right. That's
like,
right.
You know, but
it's a great environment, you know, it's a great environment for play. The thing that makes it a little more intense, I think, is because you are so close to each other. You know, I mean, during a game, I could read your lips from across the deal, you know. Yep. You're talking mess about me, I'm going to see it.
You know? Look at his bald head over there.
Right, shining. So, you know, that's what I think makes it so intense, you know, just the arena game in itself, especially in the NAL when you got all these different rivalries, you know. So, you know, it's a great opportunity for, fans, if you haven't seen the game, to come out, because it's definitely a different animal than the outdoor game.
So your first stint in the NAL was up in Maine?
Yes, sir. In Maine in 18.
Okay.
In Maine. Yep. And it was an experience. It was an experience that.
How's Maine? I've never been there. I just know it's very far north.
It's beautiful if you get there after June. when it's not cold. But the summer's really nice. You get to a big tourist area. You get lobster for dirt cheap. And all the good seafood. So, it was an experience in that way that was awesome. But the beginning of our experience as a team and as a first year team was tough, and I got nothing but mad respect for every player who played for me there, because they went through hell. The first 7 weeks. I mean, you're 1-7. You're 1-7. Some things aren't going right, and everywhere. Not just I mean, shoot, I was probably coaching crazy because of all the things we were going through. So, but I will give them this after that, and when we got all the stuff straight, and we got to be able to just play football. I mean, we ran off 7 out of 8. Nice. So. And that's all because of the players. They bought into what we finally started doing. We made some pretty good acquisitions during the year, and we never lost. I never lost my guys. And that was important to me.
That's the key. Is like you really find out what guys are made of, right? When you're down, it's easy. Right. It's easy when you're winning. Right. Nobody's pointing the finger. Everybody's happy. Those bus rides or plane rides are nice. But man, when you lose week after week, and it can wear you out, and it definitely without good leadership, it could be destroyed. And so that speaks a lot to your leadership there.
And again, it wasn't really, I don't want to take the credit for it, because we all were going through it. We all were struggling. I can't lie. It was a tough situation. You're far away from home. A lot of these guys have never even been nowhere near Maine.
Is that the U.S.?
Yeah, exactly. It's cold. And you're practicing, and it's cold outside, and things aren't going right, and it took every one of them guys to make it happen. I mean, it's just the honest to God truth.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to see a good group of guys be able to pull through, and it just brings those bonds even closer.
Right. Right. That is one thing I will say, because that group of guys there, I am still talk to almost every one of them. In
any of those guys with you now in Jacksonville?
Devin Wilson is with me in Jacksonville. Kyron Jones. Do I got another one? I think that Johnny Bain was with me in Jacksonville last year. He's out with Frisco Fighters with Clint Dozell out there, which I know he'll do a great job. I think we had about 3 or 4 guys come with us to Jacksonville. They didn't even know I was going there by then. I kind of backed out for a minute because I didn't know where I'd be coaching after Maine. So Cy Burley, had signed them to Jacksonville.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So how did that all come about, to get down in Jacksonville?
Just kind of on a whim, I was actually talked to a few teams in the NAL. I won't mention their names, about working for them, and it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. No disrespect to them. And I was fortunate enough to get a call from Saya, who I know from coaching against more, in the early AFL days. I was coaching, he was playing. And then we coached against each other in the NAL, and, we had a couple conversations, took a few weeks, and he, was I was fortunate, that he pulled the trigger on me, which is tough to do. It's hard. Some guys don't, want head coaches coming in to be assistant coaches. It's just honest to God truth, and that says a lot about Cy and his confidence level and what he wants to accomplish, and I respect him, for that.
All right, this guy. Out of all your places you've coached, where is your favorite? And you don't have to say your current one because he's asking you either.
Well,
so we'll take that one off the table.
That's one of my bosses, and Jacksonville is by far the best in the NAL.
Outside of Jacksonville, throughout your career, what was your favorite spot?
Oh man, Dallas coaching for the Desperados. Yeah. For a lot of reasons,
You were there at a good time too. That was booming at that point. Was that owned by the Cowboys at that point? Or was that after?
No, it was owned by Jerry.
Yep.
Which is we had a hell of a staff. Steve Criswell, Terrence Gray, Will McClay, who's now the head of scouting at the Dallas Cowboys. Myself, Coach Wise. We had a very good staff, but more than that, we had ball players, and in them three, I think I was there 3 years. I think we only lost 5 games, 6 games maybe in 3 years. Now we lost the games that mattered,
right.
Which is unfortunate, but we had ball players, Clint Dozell, Will Pettis, Duke Pettijohn, C. Weatherington, Ricky Simpkins. Oh, I can go on. Diallo Burks, Nash was our receivers. Oh man, we had Shuby up there with the Shuby Shake.
On top of that, though, it's such a great market too. There's so much to do. There's great food, just great stuff to do. Yeah. So,
and it doesn't hurt that you use all the Cowboy facilities too now. Our opposite.
Man, that was my team back in the day too.
So, the guys enjoyed that, they felt like they're a part, of a professional organization, cared about them. And, day in and day out, our staff, who I got to give Will McClay, my boy, big ups because, I call him my big brother because he taught me, everything I know, the smartest man I know football wise for sure.
Who was the head coach? Was it like the former special teams coordinator for the Cowboys? I forget his name. Was that?
No, it was Will McClay.
Okay.
Will McClay from Rice University. He played in the Arena League for a little bit. Was scouting with the Cowboys. He was doing double duty back then, scouting for the Cowboys and coaching. Which, he's a man who's a straight workaholic. Taught me how to grind each and every day, each hour of the day. And, if you're not working, someone else is,
So talk to me about championships. What, have you been in any championships throughout your career from playing all the way on up till now? What's that look like?
I have been in, high school, we were horrible. College, we were really good. Division II, we'd always end up in the playoffs. I think we lost to Pittsburgh State my senior year with Moore and all them beasts up there. And when I was in Richmond, we're like the Buffalo Bills, and I got to say sorry to all my Richmond fans and players, but we went 3 times and lost 3 times. And then I had been just the one with Jacksonville. As a player, I went to a championship in the World League. We won the championship in the World League in '96 in Scotland with the Claymores. So I only got 2. I got the one in 19, and I got one in '96 as a player. And I've been to 4 now. So I'm 1 and 3.
Nice. Coach Foster, another D2 baller there.
Let's go, D2. Let's go.
So what you're saying is you don't need any more championships. You're good. You got enough.
No, I'm not saying that at all. No, not at all. What I'm saying is
I got more fingers.
Yeah. We do this to win championships, Exactly. I mean, anybody who says that is the case is just wrong. We do this to win championships and get that hardware and have some bragging rights, but no one cares what you did last year. No. No one gives a damn what you did last year. And that's going to be the tough part. You got everybody gunning for you. You got players who are going to think, oh, we won last year, so you're going to be able to walk in the arena and whip some tail. And that's just not the case. You got good coaches out there. You got good players out there, and they'll have something to say about it. But no one gives a damn what you did last year.
That happened to me. Like, win every game of the year, lose the championship.
Yeah.
Then the next year come back, and the guys thought they were entitled. And man, I got smacked in the mouth.
Yeah,
man, you got a target, if anything, right now.
Right. Well, because guys get a whole off season to stew.
Yeah.
They get to think about the ways that you beat them and how you beat them, and I know right off the bat, Carolina's pissy as all get out right now. So I know that we play them first this season, so I know they're going to come for our heads. But I think, I did an internship with Belichick in 2004 with the NFL program, and got to go through training camp with him. And I think it was 2004, it was somewhere around there. So it was after they had won a championship, and he told everybody in there that don't wear your championship stuff. I don't want to see a ring. I don't want to see a shirt. Take all this stuff off the walls, because no one gives a damn what you did last year. And it's hard to win a championship, let alone it's hard to win a championship back to back.
Too, yeah.
And you got to take yourself out of that. Just focus on the cliche, what's in front of you, That's the only way you're going to do it.
So how do you kind of keep your players in check?
We're all men, we're all men. I should not have to beg you to practice. I should not have to beg you to try to get better. I should not have to beg you to do the right thing, because most of us have children, and you tell your kids the same thing. You know what I mean? You teach your kids, and no disrespect, not saying they're kids. I'm just saying that there is a point where you have to say, hey, I'm going to either do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to get better. Yeah, man up, work every day. Iron sharpens iron. We say that in practice every day. Iron sharpens iron. You're going to have to work hard every day. You're going to have to punch the clock. You're going to have to compete. And, I don't believe in a lot of that, that grandfathering and that baby. Hey, man, take this.
Come on, man, I'm a vet, man. I'm a vet.
Hey. Nah, man. You know what I mean? There's times for that. Don't get me wrong, But, to be good, you got to grind. You got to put in the work.
Yeah. When you are coaching, are you one of those coaches that will respond to a fan on the sideline, or give a fan 5? Or are you you're so laser focused in, you don't even, know they're there?
It's a little bit of both. I always can hear them, but sometimes you don't want to respond. I won't give you the pleasure of letting I can hear you. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, it goes back and forth, which I love. That's part of the game. It's part of the beauty of this game is that, you can yell in my ear, maybe not so much now because we'll have masks on and stuff like that. But, but I love being next to somebody. I love the fact that you can tell me what you feel about me. Hey, coach, throw away your play call list. It isn't working. All the little things that guys say to you. I like that. So I'll respond every blue moon, but I won't get in a back and forth with you. We just go out and play ball, and hopefully my boys have my back and they're going to ball out. And when we walk out of there, I'll just be able to give you a look and walk away.
I think that the closeness of the fans just adds to everything, because you can, I mean, I always like going on the road because number one is it's the only time I could ever really watch a game, but like, I like the fans to like, I love when they're real hostile and you score and it just goes dead silent, and, after the game, especially after you whip up on them, those fans who were dogging you all game long are the first ones out there for your autograph and a photo. And like, it's the best.
It is the best. I used to have a player in Richmond, Lawrence Lewis, call him the Law Dog.
He played for you still?
Yeah.
Damn, he had to be, now. How old was he? Because he played for the Speed.
Yeah, I don't want to date him.
Man, he had to be at least in the mid-30s at that point.
I ain't gonna put it out there. I know he balled for me.
He was a stud, man.
Boy, he was a good ball player. Good ball player. Both sides of the ball, he could do it too. But he used to walk in the arena and say, "Boo me." So when everybody started booing, he used to go around the arena saying, "Boo me, boo me," just, hyping the crowd up,
Oh, yeah.
And he was the worst guy to get into an argument with because he had some good ones,
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of the game, have a little fun with it. Don't take it too far and, we'll all be good.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what gives those fans like that personal connection still. So
definitely,
it definitely helps. So talk to me about, kind of like the worst place like that. I don't even know if the worst is the right word, but like the place like you don't like playing, or like, it's just, the atmosphere, the fans are just bonkers.
Don't like playing because they're good, or don't like playing?
No, not because of that. Because that you're not afraid of anybody there, but more on the just the fans or the atmosphere.
I would say Columbus. Columbus has great fans, good fan base.
They're crazy, aren't they? Right around the bench there.
Yeah, and they stay on you now. They stay on you. They haven't let me forget a lot of things, and because they were.
Man, would you run a background check on me or something?
Right. We've been battling with Columbus for a while, so I have. So probably Columbus. They got good fan base, good coaching staff, good players, and it's tough to win there. It just is. It's. They're right there in your face, they tell you how you feel, and and they know the game, which is important,
Right. Yeah. And that team's been there for a while. So I mean, it's just they've been able to build, and they just got those rowdies, man. And they do it. I mean, that's smart. I mean, but that's the fun part of it is just it's annoying as hell in the moment, but no, it makes it fun.
You got to keep pulling your guys away from the sideline because they start getting into it. And that's where they got you, and that's what they get you right there. They put them guys in that corner just to irritate you.
So what do you do in the off season? What do you do like outside of football?
I fish and I play golf and hang with my boys. I have a group of about 7 guys. We all went to junior college together, and we're still tight to this day. Our kids are tight. And so I spend a lot of time with them, not as much now because of COVID, but I spend a lot of time on the water. I like to fish a lot. So
what kind of fishing are you doing? Is it like lake fishing out there, or?
Oh, I do it all. We have lakes, we have rivers. I fly fish, lures, live bait, go out in the ocean. Just caught a few salmon a couple months ago, down at the coast. So, I like to stay on the water in Jacksonville.
I was going to ask you about the East Coast. How is that? Is it pretty different as far as the fishing goes?
It's a lot different. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I love about, fishing down in Jacksonville is because I don't get none of the fish out west, that I can catch in Jacksonville. So, everybody knows if they can't get a hold of me, I'm fishing.
You're out on the water.
Yeah. Players, guys who've known me for years, they know I like to be out on the water. That's my little peace of mind.
Yeah, I like to go down. When I lived in the Fort Myers area, we would go backwater fishing a lot. It's fun. But I grew up I grew up in Pennsylvania, so it was like a lot of like lake, pond.
Yeah. I
river,
like that too.
You know?
We do that a lot in Jacksonville too. You can literally drive down the street and pull over. Everybody knows I keep my fishing poles in my car. So,
so you're ready. It's like, all right, you're ready.
Every time fishing poles in the car.
Are you one of those guys I'll see like driving down the highway that pulls over in like a little retention pond over the side of the road? Nice.
100%.
Do you eat what you eat what you catch?
No, not all the time. No.
Okay.
I'll eat some redfish, but I catch and release, and I'll only keep what I'm gonna eat, for that night or something like that. But for the most part, I'm catch and release.
How about golf? You said you like to golf. Are you any good?
I can play a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm Tiger Woods or nothing, but I like taking a little money every once in a while.
Nice. I suck, man. I look good when I pull up. I'm like, man, okay. Got the nice bag, got the nice clubs, got the outfit on.
Yeah, got the clean glove and everything.
Exactly.
That's the key. You see somebody with a clean glove, you gotta try to get them.
That's like an AOL email address.
Yeah. Hey, I still have an AOL email.
See that? Come on, man. We gotta get Gmail or something.
Hey, man, I just got on Facebook like 2 years ago, so I ain't lying.
What's your TikTok? I want to see your TikTok videos.
Oh, you'll never see that.
Come on.
Come on, man.
You got TikTok at least, though, don't you?
I don't have none of that stuff. I'm not a technical wizard, unless it's breaking down film or downloading film or anything that has to do with that kind of stuff. I can do all that stuff. I mean, my daughter set up my Facebook account. She sets up my phone. She does all that stuff for me. I can't do that stuff.
Yeah, so just remember that, fans. If Coach wants to go golfing and he's like, bring some money, just be careful. Be careful.
Yeah. I wish I could play more, but.
Do you play a lot when you're down in Jacksonville, or is it more back home?
More back home. I didn't last year. Or the year before, I didn't bring my clubs. Okay. I did it on purpose too, but I'll bring them this season. Just to have, because there was a few times where I wanted to go out. Our quarterback, Mike Foffel, and Johnny Bain. We got a few golfers on the team a couple seasons ago, and they always wanted me to go out with them. And, I just didn't have my clubs with me, didn't want to rent clubs, even though I could have blamed it on clubs.
Yeah.
Tell
Steve he needs to get a trade out at a country club there or something, so you got a place to go.
Well, that's the beauty of Jacksonville. Steve stays up on it.
Yeah.
Steve stays up on it. Steve, my boy Tim, Dave, the whole crew in the office, they always try to give us something to do.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny Bain, what's better than one in a row? Two in a row, baby.
I've heard a few people put that up here. So, hey, fans out there, if you've got any more questions, throw them out here before we wrap up. We got a few more minutes left. So, any questions for Coach? How about if I come up to Jacksonville, where are we having dinner? Like, what's the spot?
Oh, Lord. Gosh, I don't even know. Where are we going? I don't even know. I don't get out that much.
Man, come on, Coach.
I really don't.
Are you a chef? You cook?
Yeah, I cook at home. But I just, work a lot when I'm there. I'm on a mission, man. I try to work. What's your
favorite takeout spot?
There's a few fish spots that we'll go to. Okay. We'll go and get some fried fish or something like that. Can't go wrong, with any kind of seafood down in Jacksonville. So, we'll try to, get some seafood in any way possible, fried, baked, boiled, however you got it. I'll eat some of it,
Well, so. Coach Foster up in Jersey he told me that he cooks. So he will actually cook for the team.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done that before.
Yeah, no, I grilled out a couple times for the team, but
hey man, when you're a coach, you got to do it all, man. You got to figure out ways to keep your boys happy, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So
check out Evan here, Coach. He was a Tampa Bay Storm fan. Solid rivalry for years with Jacksonville. Should I jump on the Sharks bandwagon?
Come on board, baby. We take them all. Fins up. Duval.
So Jonathan says breakfast at Maple Street by the beach is good. So that's cool. I'm gonna have to check that out when I get up there. I mean, I'm only
all the players know all the spots, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always trying to go out and be food connoisseurs, you know, and find all these little spots to get eats at. You know, they're always like, Coach, I went here, I went there. I'm like, damn, wish I could do that.
Can you bring me something back?
I know he would for sure.
So last few things here. So what do we got behind you here? I see we got some helmets and footballs. What's kind of on your wall here? What do you got?
These are some photos I have from, I don't know if you can see that, from San Diego.
Okay.
And nice. That's a photo of an interception I got from Troy Aikman.
Nice.
And that's a game against the Raiders, I believe. These are all San Diego photos here.
Okay. Nice.
Just some balls, my old Desperado helmet over here.
I love the logo they had. I mean,
but I gotta give shout out to my Bakersfield Blitz and my boy 42 Juice. May he rest in peace. That was one of my good buddies and players, you know. And I got to have the original.
Was that your game worn?
Yep, the first ones to wear these uniforms.
Nice.
Hall of Fame game. And then all my hats and all my stuff, and from everywhere I probably coached or been or somewhere, and then all of my John Grisham and James Patterson books.
What's your most, kind of proudest, most prized thing that you have there?
Oh, golly. The most prized is probably that Bakersfield Blitz helmet. You know, that means a lot to me. You know, I mean, to see someone pass away on a football field and then have to tell their parents, it's something that never leaves, you know. And for all the guys who know me, they know I wear a 42 on. I've worn a 42 on my arm ever since then. You know, every game I've ever coached, no matter what I'm coaching, high school, you know, shrine game, whatever, I always wear it. And it's, you know, it's something that's important to me. It's important to a lot of the guys who played with him. And it's important to me. Very important.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, that's, very unfortunate. And it's nice that you continue to kind of carry, that memory of him and, everything with you. So, definitely tough.
Yeah, it's a rough deal, but, you try to move on and, you find inspiration from it.
Yeah.
That's what we were all fortunate to be able to do.
How was coaching in the spring league? Coach Rez wants to know.
It was a great experience. The staff I was with, I had been with before, in the college shrine game at Glanville and June Jones and, that whole Yahoo crew. A lot of talent.
Look who popped on, your boy.
Crizer. What's going on, brother? What's going on, man? So wifey, I said hi. But it was awesome, man. I mean, you got to be with some good coaches, and you got to, challenge yourself again, I always try to keep my 11-man brain moving. So it was fun to be around all the different guys and the different guys from different colleges and just learning and talking to the guys on how they were coached and what they liked and what they don't like. And, so it was an experience that, if you get a chance to do it, I think, all us coaches would benefit from it for sure.
There's some good talent out there too.
Man, there's some good ball players, some really good ball players, and, it's frustrating to me about is that all these ball players out there, there's room for us all to have a platform to play, and I know it's tough now, but I just wish there was more of a platform, whatever it may be for players to be able to be seen, because no disrespect to anybody in the NFL, I've seen some guys who are better than other guys, who aren't in the NFL. It's just a fact, and it just sucks that some of them guys don't get that look.
What'd you think of like the XFL and the the AAF?
I love it. Yeah, I love all football. I'm all for all that. I wish everybody could kind of come to an agreement how to do it, without stopping, halfway through the year, but yeah. I'm all for football. I could watch football year round, so, it's more football, the better for me.
What's your NFL team that you follow?
Let's see.
Seahawks. All right.
Come on, man. At 206. 206 is in the house.
You follow any other sports like NBA, MLB, NHL?
I follow the NBA a little bit, but not as much as I used to. I'm more of a college football, college basketball fan, and more so because my daughter played basketball, growing up, and my buddies' kids have played basketball. One of them played for Gonzaga for a few years, so, I'm more of that kind of fan, All
right, last question, coming from YouTube. What is your most favorite memory with the Sharks?
My favorite memory of the Sharks is probably, well, there's really two. It's all the same.
Pull that picture back up, and
it's probably two of the same game. One is talking to the defense on the sideline when you're down, and the way they reacted to it, and then, of course, the final play of the game, to be able to have a stop, on the last play of the game when you're on the field is pretty sweet.
Was that against Columbus?
Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard stories from both of those guys that, so I remember that, you guys broke their hearts at some point. So that's all I know.
Well, they did the same to me. I know that.
Exactly. Exactly. If that ball would have bounced the other way. Absolutely.
Right. Hey, you got to be lucky to win championships too. You got to have got to be good, got to have good coaching, and you got to have a little luck.
Well, Coach, man, it's going to be fun kind of, watching you guys try to repeat. Everybody is just gunning, and it was cool to hear from the league meetings. There was a lot of trash talking going on already. So that just makes it all the more fun. So
it's going to be exciting. And I'm looking forward to, coaching against some of these coaches in this league. And, having a great season, fins up, Duval, baby.
Coach Rez says you guys just finished, but tomorrow we're back for another show. I've got the owner of the Ontario Bandits, Johnson, with me. So that's going to be great to have Patrick Johnson on there. He played in the league for a bunch of years, and they're kind of going to bring that divide together, West Coast to East Coast, and expand the NAL over the next few years. So it'll be fun to hear from him tomorrow. But Coach, thanks again for joining me, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one, Andrew. Take care now.